Well, Silver, what's your risk tolerance? I know there's some people out there that have no risk tolerance at all. None. It's going to 15. It's going to 45. You fucking wimp. Yeah, but risk tolerance means you can lose a lot of money, too. It does. You can get screwed one way or the other. But what I'm trying to tell people is stick with it because it's going to take off unexpectedly. And then I'm going to put the real message out here first. It's going to take off unexpectedly. Nobody's going to know. All of a sudden, something's going to drive up gold and silver fast. And then you're going to get all the charlatans out of the woodwork. The BJFs, the SGD Bulls, the freaking Chris Dwaynes. All those guys, man. And, Eric Sprott. And they're going to say, oh, it's going to the moon. And you know what? Sell some of that shit. Definitely start selling in pieces as it goes up. If you get double, definitely sell some. I've been saying that. That's one thing they're not going to say because, Brother John F., I got to point him out because, he's giving you, I think he's giving you rotten advice in some ways. He gives you a lot of good facts. I mean, you listen to the guy if you like listening to him, if you want to hear all the facts and how much silver's in the world and what's going on with the Federal Reserve and with Bernanke. But, he gives the example like the Weimar Republic, it's if you sold your silver here and then the currency got a lot worse and the price of silver went 10 times in a year, you lost your money. But I don't think that's going to happen with the U.S. dollar that easy because it's the world reserve currency for one thing, and there's a lot of economic might behind the U.S. and a lot of commodities, a lot of oil, and the other thing is I say to sell some in pieces. But silver investing is not for people that have an aversion to risk tolerance. It's for people that have. It's like you say you go to Vanguard. Vanguard, like the oldest index fund provider around. Index funds are good actually. They'll have. Are you really conservative? You want such a safe rate of return on your money? This is what you use. Moderate risk, higher risk, real high risk. The real high risk is commodities, silver, platinum, that kind of shit. They're all over the place. That's high risk. And the mining stocks. Right now they're probably depressed though. But, I had a friend of mine, I talked to, I talked on one of these videos that, oil stocks is a good deal because they pay dividends. I don't have those, but a friend of mine has them. I don't know which ones he's got, I forgot. I think he's got BP and stuff. He bought it low when it Gulf tanked and stuff. But they pay dividends. Also, he's got something with an airport. But he doesn't, he had some silver. He doesn't have too much of it. He doesn't like that risk involved. Me, I have a lot of silver because, I'm taking a risk, I'm taking a risk. I don't know what the hell is going to happen for sure. But, people looking for that kind of answer, what do I want to do? What do you want me to do? Hold your hand or some shit? I mean, god damn. Some people, if you got no risk tolerance, don't go into silver. See, that's another thing I don't like about what Brother John F. says because he says you'll lose all your money. He said this a bunch of times, man. You can say he didn't, but and I'm not trying to be mean with the guy or nothing like that, but I'm just telling you, it's not good advice when you're telling you you got to have all your money in physical silver, or else you're going to lose it if it's on paper. That's not true because it's not really paper. It's like if you got a share in a company and it's producing oil or something, or it's producing agricultural products, that paper's good because it's backed by a real producing asset company, right? Just put it stupidly, but guys are, they tell people that to be safe, you got to go into a high risk asset. And I don't want to call it a high risk asset because I think it's going way up, But those guys, like I said, I'll say it again, when it goes way up, they'll tell you that it's going to go even higher. I don't know exactly where the next peak is, but I think it's going to be 65 to 75. And the next time it has a run up, it's going to go over 100 in basics. And then it'll probably get to 150 to 200, or maybe more. Maybe more. Depends on how things really fall apart. Now, something else with this Cyprus thing, somebody pointed out, I think it was Overlog, whatever it was, on one of the subscribers. He said that, this whole thing with Cyprus, one of the comments was that, it's It's deliberate. Bankers know what the hell's going on. You know, to propose this kind of shit, they know it would cause kind of different problems. I say so too. I mean, I know it. I mean, nothing's really done by accident. But you know, what's interesting is all the planes from Russia to Cyprus, and this is not even the tourist season, are full. They got no seats available. There's like a gazillion Russians going over to Cyprus. And who the hell knows? And you know, the thing is, what might happen with this is the Russians might bail out Cyprus in exchange for a naval base on there too, besides the gas exploration rights. You know, that's exactly how the United States kind of expanded its power. You know, if there's a problem economically in a country, well, yeah, we could fix that, and you know, we got a base there now, right? That's probably what they're gonna do. But looks like there's a lot of cracks in the system coming up, and I'm gonna say this, that you know, some people, I don't know, they want you to hold their hand or some shit. You know, silver's gonna go up and down. You know, I mean, it's like if you're a bitch, you can't handle it, don't buy it. You know, do what the hell you want. It's the way I look at it. You know, if you're a bitch, you can't handle it, don't buy it. It's a high risk asset. Like traditionally, like if you look at stuff like, you know, people that, you know, sell you investments, they'll say, well, what do you want? You're in a retired area, you want conservative investment, you want, you know, safe, steady income. Well, they ain't going to tell you to go into silver, palladium, or platinum. Definitely not. That's like on the other extreme. So, like I'm saying, though, too, like, I think you're, like, from the price points where we're at now, you're going to get some serious gains. But, you know, if you don't sell it, you're not going to get gains. You're going to get gains on a piece of paper. And I think it's going to take a few years or so till it gets to the ultimate high. 2017 might be the ultimate high. But, you know, it's like you got to have some risk tolerance. And so, like, my point on this, too, is, you know, silver's not exactly going to be like a total safety for people, too. You know, I don't know. These people selling these coins, man, act like it's like we're going to go to some nirvana state and everybody's going to be trading coins again and no paper's going to be around. And I think that's a pile of BS, you know. Because, like, paper and electronic money is going to be around because that's going to be convenient. But it's going to be backed by commodities. You know, the system will actually have to return to honesty for a while, and then it'll get corrupt again. It'll take so many years after there's a, you know, basically when there's a big problem, everything goes back to square one. But there's still the methods of paper and electronic money is going to be around but it'll be backed by real stuff. But, you know, people aren't going to be going around using coins physically like they did back in the Middle Ages and before. Because it's just like we got too much trade going on right now, and it's like, it's too inconvenient. It's going to be impossible. But the honesty of the system will return. And, you know, I got to point this out at the end. You know, when, say, for instance, like the bank needs bailouts or something like that, or there's a big problem someplace, or there's all this debt, where's the money going to, right? Why is there so much debt? You know, a lot of times people point to, like, the big grain dole that goes on where, you know, there's people collecting welfare, they're getting all these benefits, food stamps and stuff. That ain't really where most of the money's going. It's going to a lot of these professional shitheads in government, big bucks, and also even in the private industry. Basically, they're a bunch of leeches. You know, I look at a lot of these people in these offices, they're leeches, man. That's one reason when I worked in an office, I worked in the construction industry mostly, where actually somebody hands-on was doing stuff for other people where they can live in a house. I never liked paper just for paper, you know. And actually, a lot of times I see a lot of these silver bloggers, they're in it for paper just for paper, you know. But those kind of people are the biggest bunch of leeches on society going. Big time. It's like the professionals. The doctors, the lawyers, you know, that kind of shit. They're leeches. They're leeches. I don't even give a shit if they're in private industry. They don't do shit for nobody. And they act like they give a shit. They don't. So that's really, you know, I'm going to keep doing a lot of these YouTube videos, but I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to keep pushing up a little more how-to, hands-on type things, because I think it's more helpful to people. You know, so I think what I'm doing here is providing a service. Sometimes it's just information, but you know, the information I'm giving you is more common sense. You know, the thing I was saying, even with silver, it's a high risk investment. Now, I have most of my money in precious metals, and good part of the precious metals, and most of the precious metals is silver. Now, I think that it's going to go way the hell up, you know, and I'm pretty damn sure of it. Now, I know there's naysayers out there that say, well, suppose it stays at $30 for the next 3 years, will you ever sell? You know what? That ain't reality, pal. So, it ain't going to be that way. But, you know, like I said, it's not for people that are scared of risk. They're scared of taking chances. They want everything laid out for them. It's not for those kind of people. So like when Brother John F. says you might have better put all your money into freaking physical silver because you're going to lose it, I think that's bad advice because it's not for everybody. A lot of people shouldn't be investing in silver because it's a very volatile asset. That's what it does. It goes up and down. But I think it's going to play out. And, you know, the one people I would really like to stick it to big time is these professional dorks. I can't stand them. You know, I've been around that kind of shit. I hate them. I hate the freaking weasels. And, you know, if you wonder what's going wrong with the economy, they're the biggest bloodsuckers gone. So one of the things I like putting out here a lot of times is about health videos too, because, you know, there's good doctors and bad doctors, but a lot of times they're bloodsuckers that act nice, and it's a big act, you know? And that's exactly what you see with the professionals. They know how to play and act like they give a shit. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit at all. They only want their money. That's all they're about. So, but, you know, if you stick with this silver crap, you're going to have some serious money. That, I'll say that. But just don't be afraid to sell it when it goes up double. You know? If you don't have any risk tolerance, don't go into silver. You know, maybe you're a pussy, you can't handle it. But, you know, that's just how it is.